Hello, Jen Anderson here. I am on a mission to help working Christian moms go from crazy chaos and everything over to peace and joy. Doesn't that sound awesome? And one of the things that I think that we can do for ourselves to make that happen is through regular journaling. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I set up my bullet journal for October, November, and December. So let me jump in here and show you what I've got set up. I'm a big fan of having word of the year, so I always like to put that at the beginning, and I leave a page for myself for having just thoughts that come to me about what the word of the year is. So my word this year is launch, and so like if things show up in my life, if I launch a product, if I read an article that talks about launching or whatever, I just list that here. So I give myself a really simple blank page that shows that there. And then the next thing that I think is really fun is to keep track of family playtime. And so again, I just left myself a simple plain page. My style is pretty simple because I don't want it to be super complicated. So in playtime, so this is where I would list like if we go for like the day to go do something. So for example, the fall colors are really beautiful. And so we're gonna go for a drive up the canyon. So I'll put the date and whatever we do around that. This one right here is for my husband and I. His name is Chad, and so I like to keep track of the things that we do, like date nights and things that experiences that we have together. And so I use these really fun stickers on here that says "Let the love in," and this one right here says "My heart to yours," and "I am motivated by love." And you can see how the style worked out, how I put October, November, and December, and I just did simple boxes so that way I have space. I can write things down in that area there. And then for book reading, I like to keep track of the books that I either listen to or that I read. And so I did a very simple layout here for book reading. And then I found these super cute little stickers that are little eyeglasses. So every time I will write down, I'll put the little eyeglass sticker, and then I will put the name of the book, the author, and I'll write some thoughts around that book. And so I like to give myself 2 pages for 3 months because I'll probably end up reading anywhere from about 5 to 7 books or listening to them during that time. And so I want to give myself plenty of space to sketch that out and to write it out. And then for Sarah, my little 4-year-old, I like to keep track of her learning time. And I love how this one turned out. It's so cute. Look at that, you guys. These little stickers right here, they're just cute little dragonflies. And we have a huge thing about dragonflies in our life. We call them dragonfly buddies. It was the first insect that she really became aware of, and we love dragonflies. So in the Sarah learning time, this is where I will put, like, if she's taking any art classes, I just signed her up in an art school. If she does any dance classes, if we have any learning experiences, like going on a nature walk or something like that, where it's for her to have specific learning time. And I've also found for myself, by creating a space in my journal for that, it actually pushes me to do something and to get it on the schedule. So there's a little mama hack for you. So there's Sarah's learning time. And then I like to keep track of the cards that I mail to people or the gifts that I give to people, as well as what I receive from people. So I created a 3-page layout. So each page, October, November, and December, have a section for cards and gifts that I've given, as well as what I've received. And you can see right here, I just put October in this cute little sticker. Just use a simple washi tape, but it gives it a nice little pop, and I have 3 pages that match. And then I also want to keep track of my exercise, my intentional exercise, meaning I have it scheduled. I go to a specific class at the gym. To me, that's very different versus going for a walk as a family casually on Sunday after church or something like that. I want to keep track of my intentional exercise. So in the past, I've done them where it's like 1 page per, and I realized I didn't need that much space. So I changed it up this time. So this time I put my exercise tracking, and I did it all on the same page. So I did 1 through 31 here, and then October, November, and December each have their section. So as I attend different classes, it will be indicated here. And I love these little scale stickers. So at the end of the month, I like to write down my weight so I can keep track of how I'm doing and progressing. But I put it all on 1 page because I didn't need to have it spread out so much. Now, if you're somebody who's really into exercise and you want to keep track of maybe all the exercise that you did that day, you're going to need more space. But for me, when I go and I attend an hour-long spin class, I just put spin. That's all I need to do. Or if I go and I do weightlifting, I just put weights. I don't keep track of this time I did so many reps at this much weight. That's not something that's important to me. But if you need that, definitely give yourself more than 1 page for sure. And then I wanted to keep track of the meals that we're eating over the next 3 months. I like to do this because it's helpful for me to see what are we eating again and again. Am I needing to mix up my menu? And also, are there things that we're gravitating towards as a family, right? And so I like to keep track of that. And so I did some really cute pages. So I did 1 page per. And the reason why I did that is I wanted to have enough room to be able to write across the whole line what it is that we ate. So, so if it's spaghetti with French bread and salad, I want to make sure I have enough room to write all of that out. But you can see how cute these turned out. So this is the October page and November. And I just used a really just kind of fun little creative, colorful thing. And after I created it, I thought maybe I should have done something that was more like fall harvesty looking, but that's not how it came together. So it has a little bit more of a summer feel to it, but that's okay. Why not bring a little summer into our fall and winter months? And then one thing that's been really on my mind lately is making sure that I'm not on Facebook as much. So I tend to get sucked into it and I'll stay on it forever. Not forever, but like a half an hour will go by that fast. And I'll be like going, holy cow, what happened? How did I get to this point? I've just lost a half an hour of my life. So I'm putting myself on a digital detox. And what I'm doing is 3 times a day, I will allow myself to get on Facebook, and each time for up to 15 minutes. So I have plenty of time to message people, to post things, to read a couple of articles, and engage in the groups that I'm a part of, and to make sure that I'm interacting within Facebook, but without getting in there and just being stuck in it for an hour at a time. So what I did is I created some pages for digital detox. So what will happen, like this is the one for October, and I went with just a really silly theme around spiders. And so you can see each of them have a date. So on that particular date, if I only went on to Facebook 3 times that day, then I'm going to color it in. And so this will be filled in with orange and purple and green, the colors of Halloween. And then if I did more than those 3 times or longer than 15 minutes, then I'm not going to get to color it in for that day. So I just wanted to show you how that turned out. And then for November, I did it with pumpkins. And for December, I did it with holly leaves. So these each have numbers on these holly leaves. So I will color these in with green. The pumpkins, I'll do different shades of orange, yellow, and brown. And so I have my November, my December, and my October digital detox. And then I also like to keep track of when I'm hanging out with friends and doing things that's purposeful to build relationships with my friends and people within my network. So I created this 2-page spread. So for October, November, and December, it goes all the way across here, and it has this little hanging out with friends sticker right here. So this way I can keep track of what it is that I'm doing. In fact, today, after creating this video, I'm going to a Greek restaurant for lunch, and I've invited some friends to meet me. So I will put that on here, and I will just make note of going to that lunch. So I just give myself plenty of space. I thought 1 page would not be enough, so I wanted to be able to give myself 2 pages worth to do that. And you can see my style is super simple. I just do this long box, so you have to use a long ruler for that. I just did some simple heart washi tape along the top in October, November, and December. Just kind of a fun way to keep track of things. So I wanted to share with you those ideas of some things that you can do to make it so that your journal is set up for the next 3 months, so that you can enjoy keeping track of the things that are working for you. And as you do this stuff, it's going to absolutely help you to connect more with God. Some other things that I also have in here. So I like to do kind of those personal things first, or kind of like, I shouldn't say personal, but just more like general stuff. Now I'm going to share with you some things that are really kind of more pertinent to the Latter-day Saint faith. So every Monday we like to have family home evening is what we call it, where we connect with our family members. So I'm keeping track of my family home evenings for October, November, and December. Again, a simple washi tape and a little cute little bar sticker here. So I'll write down what we do. And then family history. So I have a page right here for family history with a great quote that says, "Understanding your family history is the key to unlocking who you are." And this just helps me as I'm gathering information about my family members who have passed away. And then I like to keep track of where I'm doing my tithing and my giving. So I've got a cute little page, just very simple. Again, I'll put the date and how much it is that I donated and where did I donate it to. And then keeping track of my priesthood blessings. I just wanted to give myself 1 page. So if I get a couple of different priesthood blessings in the next 3 months, I've got a space to write it down and to write down the inspiration and the thoughts that came from during that blessing. And then keeping track of my fasts. So here's my fast reflection. So I write down the day that we start and the time that we end, or that I end. If I did it with anybody, if I made a donation to the church, I write down what my focus is for the fast, and then if I had any insights. And at the very bottom, I like to put a little gratitude for fast. These little gratitude boxes sure make a difference, so that it reminds me to stop and to have that moment of gratitude for that experience that I had. And then I have several pages for what I call temple service. These are super simple. I found these really basic little temple stickers right here. And so I have on here date, temple, service, with, and then I put down the intention. So that's the prayer that I take in my heart when I go, and then the insights that I get. And then again, gratitude for the temple, always end with gratitude. And then I have a return and report, because sometimes I get inspiration while I'm in the temple. Then I'll go and I'll do those things, and then I'll come back to the temple and thank God for that inspiration, or share with him some additional thoughts that I had. So I have several pages for temple, because I'm going to be going, I like to go once a week. So I've got 12 pages for that for the rest of the next 3 months. And then I also have 12 pages for church reflections. So this is where I write down the date, the intention that I have in my heart when I go to church. And then I create a little space for inspiration over here. And then on this one, I had some really fun stickers. Like this says, God loves us, everyone. So I just added some cute little stickers. Or like this, divine wisdom guides me. So I just have these fun stickers that I popped on here on the bottom, just to give it a little bit of just some fun creative stuff. And then the last thing that I have in here is keeping track of the women that I reach out to here within my neighborhood. And so, so I have this little section here for sisters, and see it says October, November, and December. And I've got some like cute little stickers here. It says biggest fan and good cries and sisters. So this right here shows you how, gives you an example of how you can keep track of what you're doing. So within the LDS faith, we call it ministering, which means that we minister to the different people that are in our neighborhood. So keeping track of that here helps me to see how much am I actually ministering, or how much am I going to the temple, or doing family history, or fasting, and all those kinds of really beautiful things that we have within our faith. And so I like to have this all written out at the beginning of my journal for the next 3 months. So it gives it space to make sure that I am doing these things that I know that to be important. And then I can reflect back on it later, and I can see basically my spiritual progression, my emotional progression, as well as progression within my family as well. So those are some ideas for you in the comments below. Let me know some things that you're doing, or questions that you might have about setting up a bullet journal, and I can make sure to do some videos on those as well. And remember always, my friends, no matter what's going on in your life, be it in your work, in your church congregation, or in your family, God has a message for you. So pray to him and listen up. He can help you along. All right, my friends, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.